Hello. Week 5. We're moving on past statistics into the world of graph theory. You should note that graph theory is significantly shorter. We only have 3 sections to cover. You're doing 2 sections this week and 1 section next week. There's some corresponding parts of the project to do. The project part is also shorter here. So basically we have week 5, a couple sections. Week 6 you'll have another section, wrap up the project. And week 7, we'll just be taking a test again, and then we're moving on. So graph theory is really pretty short. You can see the new front page. You can still get to the old front pages, but you shouldn't really need to go back to that stats stuff for a while. So things that we have this week: some new work on the project and a corresponding discussion, another discussion about open resource math texts, 2 sections of my math lab, and just a little note again about this being shorter. So if we click on week 5, you can see project work for week 5. This thing on open source textbooks. Actually, I need to move a link down. I'll do that in just a second. If we click the project instructions, let's look at week 5's project instructions. Use your 4 amusement parks plus Blackhawk College, or your own college if you're from somewhere else. Hi, ice people. As the vertices of a graph. You probably have no idea what this means when you're watching this video. You should come back and watch this part later after you've done a little bit of 14.1, maybe 14.2. Connect the vertices with all possible edges. Label the edges with the distance in miles between each destination. How are you going to get those distances? You're going to use Google Maps or something. Use the nearest neighbor algorithm to find the shortest way to make the trip from your college to each park and back. So you're going to start at your college, you're going to go to each park, and you're going to come back. And there's a lot of different orders you can do that in. So you're going to find the best one using the nearest neighbor algorithm, and then you're going to do that again with the best edge algorithm. I'm not making you do the brute force algorithm, because that would be 120 different ways, which is a lot to work out by hand. And then 4, compare your answers from 2 and 3. You may get the same numbers, you may get different ones, to the best route found in MapQuest's route planner. Below you can see a screenshot of an example of how to set up the route planner. So I have that down here. Actually, we can just do that in the video here too. If you just go to mapquest.com, and then it has an option to click route planner. You type in, I did Blackhawk College first and last. Then you put your parks you want to go to, the 4 of them in between. You need to switch between shortest time and shortest distance down here. So by default it's on shortest time. I switched it to shortest distance. And now apparently doing this right now I've broken it again. But that's okay. Okay, because it recalculated the whole thing. See, on shortest time. Or you click over there to shortest distance is what we actually want. And then you want to allow it to reorder the stops. That's the main important thing that this will do for you, because it will tell you the best order to go on them. And then this should end up pretty close to what you get with the nearest neighbor or best edge, but maybe not exactly the same. So check that out. That's what you're going to be doing. There's a link I need to copy. Okay. So back to where we were. The next one is a discussion on open source textbooks. One of the things that several of you talked about was the cost of the book for the class. So really the reason that you have the book that you do is basically because we need an online homework system. There's really no way for me to collect and grade a bunch of paper homework from 30 people over the internet in a reliable way. So that's basically we have what we have so that we have my math lab. But there is a alternative. I don't know how many questions there are in the database, but I'm just starting to look into this, and I thought, why not have you guys kind of lead the way a little bit. So there's a link to myopenmath.com. If you click that, then you can log in as a guest. These instructions are over here. Then you want to go down to the 107 Math for Liberal Arts demo. And I believe that I ask you to look at week 3 graph theory. Oh no, actually I think I asked you to look at statistics. Week 7 statistics describing data. I want you to look through the required reading. That is the textbook. So kind of skim through this, see what you think. Okay? And then the next thing that I ask you to do is watch at least one of the videos. You can see they have several videos, describing data videos. And then I ask you to try the exercises. And then for me, this is kind of the game breaker, is how many of these exercises are available on my end to assign. Because you can see for a whole week there's only 11 questions in here. I need significantly more than that. But you can see how it's set up. If you miss a problem, you can try a similar problem. You can work to get a perfect score. But there's not the help that there is on MyMathLab. But there is a video, so maybe these little videos are more helpful than the help that's on MyMathLab. I don't know. So I want you to try 3 or 4 of these questions. We didn't do all of the things that are in here. Actually, maybe we did. 5-number summary, the box plot. Yeah, I don't think we did. Yeah, I think we did. So you could probably do any 3 or 4 of these questions that you wanted. Again, I don't know if the videos use the calculator or not. Kind of like MyMathLab had that problem too. But anyway, I want you to look through those, do that, and then comment on the experience. How would you rate the quality of the materials? How does this compare to what we have now? I would still put my own lecture videos in here, so keep that in mind. You're basically replacing the MyMathLab and the book that you currently have with everything that's on this website. So just how does that compare? And then remember, this is free, so is that enough to make you willing to learn from it? So if you guys are pretty happy with the materials that are here, if I can find enough homework questions to make me happy, then you might save people money by like as soon as the spring. So, you know, a little research here. Okay, now let's go back to week 5. Then you have, I went ahead and put all of chapter 4 stuff in here, 4.1, 4.2, 4.3, and a forum here for homework discussion if you have it. But you only have to do 4.1 and 4.2's homework this week. 4.3 is held off for next week. Note that the notes are not as nice this time around. They are PowerPoints. So they're not the fancy fill-in notes that I had before. Those things took me a ridiculous amount of time to make. And so you just have PowerPoints this time around. So you can download this. It's got like all of the notes. And then the video, I just kind of go through and explain them. So not quite the same as how it was in the first unit, but still there's a video for every section. There's PowerPoint you can click through with it, which is, I think, how I would do it if I were you. And then on MyMathLab, you have 2 assignments due September 25th, section 4.1 and 4.2 homework, and then the 4.3 is up here if you want to get ahead. Okay, I think that is it. I hope that everybody took the first test and that it went pretty well. Otherwise, I should have heard from you by now, I hope. So good luck in week 2. Not week 2, unit 2. Good luck on unit 2.